Good morning, this is Rex Kowalski. Well, good morning for me anyways. It's a beautiful morning out here, as you can see. Beautiful, beautiful morning. No rain today. Today we're going to be doing a right rear wheel seal on the truck. So I'll get in depth with that in just a minute. But this is Rex Kowalski with Sturrdrum Studios. And let's go ahead and get started. Get a little dirty on this one. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to take all these off. These are a 13 millimeter or a 1/2 inch standard. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to break these loose. We're going to take the bottom ones here off. These we're going to keep relatively loose. And then we're going to take a screwdriver, shove it through the sides here with a hammer. Break it loose and let it all drain into my tub here. So let's go ahead and knock that out. As you can tell with the coloration of this, that when I went off-roading, that right rear wheel seal was actually so bad that it let water, because of me getting stuck, it let water into the differential. Which is actually very bad for you, obviously. This is also really old fluid. I don't think it's ever been changed out. So it's still got the stench of differential fluid. That's honestly the worst things that I've ever smelled. I hate them, but you gotta get it done. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, because I have to get into this, I want to clean it up. Obviously, you would want to clean it up anyways just because of how old the fluid is, how runny and watered down it is. So I'm going to use some brake clean. Alright, so what you want to do next is there's a bolt here. You need to take this bolt out. Alright, so you can pull the axle out. Now, if this is behind it in the back there, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to make sure the vehicle is in neutral so you can spin the axle. Pull it out just like that. Go back behind here, and there's a pole, there's a rod here that you actually want to get out. So it's a little tough to be able to get out. Okay. There you go. Get it all nice and pulled out. Awesome. Now, right now, we're going to turn this. We're going to make it to where we can see in there, because there's a clip we're going to have to pull out to be able to pull that axle out. So let's go ahead and turn it there. Okay, now that we're turned here, we're done with here for right now. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go over to the end of the axle and start taking stuff apart so we can pull that axle out. So we can get it ready to pull that axle out. So, let's get over there and start doing that. Alright, so in order to be able to take the axle out, we first have to be able to, of course, take these off. I normally leave these on so I don't lose them after the wheels are off. So we'll go ahead and take these off. And then we have to be able to pull this rotor off. Well, in order to do that, we have to actually pull this off here. So we'll go ahead and pull it off. It is also two 10mm here and here. Break them loose, pull these out, pull this off, then we'll be able to pull this off. What I just did there was broke up all the rust in there. And as you can see, pulls it right off. Now, one of the things that we're going to really want to do, see how it's all dirty, there's a lot of oils and stuff in here. We want to clean that up with the brake cleaner as well, along with here, because it's all, I mean, it's nasty. You want to be able to pull that off, or clean it up, that way it doesn't make your squeal noise and all that stuff because of your seal leaking. Because that's all the differential oils that are in that thing now. As you can see, we're able to push this in. As soon as we push this in, we have enough clearance to grab that clip and pull it off. When we pull that clip off, this whole axle is going to come out. So, let's go ahead and do this. Okay, so now that we pulled this thing out, or pushed this thing in, excuse me, you can actually see that there's a clip here. This clip we're going to go ahead and pop off. And you can just let it fall, because normally it'll fall down into the bottom here and you can grab it out. I'm not worried about it. Just pull it off and then just push that axle just a little bit so you can grab it, and then we'll go and we'll rip it out. Alright, okay, the moment you've all been waiting for, let's go ahead and rip this thing out. Alright, we got it out. The seal's right there. The seal is terrible. And there's a bearing there. That bearing has a bunch of that nasty greasy oil in there from water being contaminated into it. We're going to clean that out. We're going to try to clean all of it out. Of course, we're going to reuse that bearing there. So, anyways, let's go ahead, knock that out, and I'll show you how to take this seal out. So this is a pretty easy seal here. Alright, so now that we got it out, we're going to go ahead, clean up all the surface area. Then you're going to take your seal. You're going to take a little bit of your rear end fluid that you're going to be putting on it. Get your finger wet. Get it on the lip here before you actually drive it in. Alright, now that we got lubed up here, we're going to go ahead, we're going to set it in. We're going to tap it on the edges. Alright, I'm going to take my little driving tool, set it on here, and just pop it in the rest of the way. you're all driven in. All right, now that you got it in, you go ahead and you lube up here on the actual rubber. Take a little bit of this and you actually pour it in the axle. Okay? I've already done that, and I've also lubed up my bearings here with the same gear fluid, gear oil. And now we're gonna actually slide the axle back in. Okay, now that it's in, do not forget to get that seat clip out, because you're gonna have to put the seat clip back on here. All right, so you go in here, I usually use a magnet. The seat clip, which like I said before, falls to the bottom almost every time. So I got it right here. Probably wipe it up a little bit. Take the seat clip, put it on the back of the axle. All right, now that it's in, go ahead and push it back out just a little bit to where it locks up. And then you're gonna go ahead, you're gonna take your pin again, you're gonna put your pin back in. Now you wanna make sure that where this hole is right here, you're gonna wanna actually have it where that bolt is. So when you tighten up that bolt, it goes through this and it makes it to where it won't slide out. Take the pin, slide it through. Try to keep it lined up. And you'll take your little bolt here. See, it's got threads on one side, and then the other side it's actually got just a actual pin, so it'll slide through it. All right, start screwing it in. Get your 10 millimeter. Now you'll take your 10 millimeter, and you'll actually tighten this up. So I always like to use an extension. You'll drop it. Put it on here. You'll tighten it up. Mine already has some Loctite on there, so I'm not worried about it. But if you don't have Loctite on there, I suggest putting some. The Loctite that they normally use on these is yellow, so you want to use yellow Loctite. All right, now that that's in, go ahead and make sure that this area, the surface area here, is all prepped and clean. You can see it's still running out, which we'll, of course, let it drain out the rest of the way. And then what we'll go ahead and do is we already pre-prepped the actual cover, differential cover. So go ahead and go ahead and prep your cover. You'll come through here, you go ahead and hit this up, and then you'll use a silicone gasket maker for these. So we'll go ahead and get that done. Alright, now that we have this all prepped and ready, we're going to go ahead and take some silicone. I'm using the Performance RTV silicone from Motorcraft. So you can use whatever type of silicone. I would prefer you to use engine or gasket maker silicone. Alright, now that we're done, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take it, we're going to set it on the actual differential, and we're going to start running our bolts in. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, we're going to set it up on here, we're going to start running our bolts in. Alright, we're set. Alright, there you go. Now just let it dry for a little bit, and then go ahead and go to the back
or well, actually the front of the actual pumpkin differential, and go ahead and fill up your fluid. I normally let it go. This one takes 2 quarts, but I normally let it go until it starts coming out of the little hole that you actually have to fill it into. So go ahead and do that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll go back over to the putting the rotor on and the brake back on. All right, we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna put this back on here. We're gonna have to tap it with a hammer a little bit because it's got to get past the emergency brake. All right, there you go. It's on there. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take the brake caliper and slide it back on, just like that. Take your 2 bolts here, go ahead and slide them in, and tighten them down with a 10 millimeter. Then you go ahead and take your lug nuts, and you go ahead and just slide this back on for now until we get the wheels done. And there we go. All right, well, we got that finished. So the next step is to get the wheels mounted to my new tires, and then we will put them on the truck, and we'll be good to go. So stay tuned for the next video, and take it easy, guys. This is Rex Kowalski with Sturrdrum Studios, signing off.